Welcome to the Honda Indy Toronto. This 11-turn course, a little less than a mile and a quarter, might be the most challenging on the schedule.
So I think the thing with Toronto is it's the most punishing probably of all of the street circuits that we race at.
I think it's a shock to the system for sure. It's extremely bumpy in a few places.
This temporary street circuit, 11 turns, 4 to the left, 7 to the right.
Man, I jumped out of the car the first session and thought, holy hell, this is the hardest street course I've been to.
Often 2 or 3 different surfaces in one corner.
The bumps, the patches, the change of surface.
I think for a rookie, that makes it especially challenging.
It is a lot harder than I think any of the other places we've been to.
So very many are happy that this event has returned. It's been off the series schedule since 2019, but it is back, and it looks as healthy as ever.
The fact that we're here this weekend back in Toronto, and it's our first time since the pandemic to be in front of the Canadian fans again, I think we all feel that energy, we all feel that excitement.
It's been nice to get back to events, you know, this one included, where there's people everywhere, right? It's great, and I missed that for a year and a half. I think it's brought an energy to Dev for sure, and to our group.
It's amazing, man. Toronto's, always been a big part of my life, and this is home. I have so many friends and family and support, so much support here.
It's his home race. He's carrying the colours of the hospital where he was born, which is super important to him, and I think the whole team's got behind that.
One note on Devlin DeFrancesco, this is a big weekend for him to race here in Toronto. He is native, of course, a Canadian, and was born at Sunnybrook Health Center here in the Toronto area. But he was born 4 months premature, spent the majority of his time in an incubator.
Devlin has launched a very exciting initiative. This new initiative is appropriately called Racing for the Tiniest Babies. Devlin and his family are generously matching all donations to Sunnybrook Stand Women and Babies program, up to a total amount of $250,000.
You always have one of the most colorful cars. You have the most colorful driver suit. In blue and pink, it says, "Thank you, Sunnybrook" on it. Fight like a preemie. Why is that so important to you, and what makes it so special to have that on your suit here in Toronto?
Without all the guys at Team Sunnybrook, the team of doctors, nurses, everyone operating the incubators and the NICU, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have been around. I wouldn't have made it. So, always nice to give back to them. Being able to meet so many families and children growing up who are premature just like me, and it was nice and self-rewarding and so amazing to see. Just nice to give back to where I came from, because without them I wouldn't be here. It was definitely a busy week. It wasn't. I was expecting worse, I think, like more busy. Loosen the Canadian up.
You got this, man.
A calm Dev is a fast Dev. As Uncle Rob says, just gotta get it done.
We're going to focus forward.
We're going to focus forward in a controlled, calm, aggressive manner.
Calm down. A bit like me in that regard.
Yeah, but you've had whatever 9 races of working with me now.
That's
We've
true.
got you in the zone.
That's true.
We're still getting you in the zone.
That's fair.
At least I hope we made some progress.
Yeah.
We're going to find out this weekend.
Turn 8, braking is tricky, just because of the patches and so on. Turn 1, the concrete is super slippery. But apart from that, it's all kind of okay.
Alright, 29er.
First went out on the blacks, did a baseline. Generally drove quite early on. Car was doing a bit of everything. With the very low ride heights, it was really quite tough over the bumps, and on braking as well. Locking was a bit of a factor in turn 1, and it really didn't like the bumps into turn 8 on braking, just with the low ride heights. Coming up was much better. It made the ride a bit better, but it's still it's quite tricky over the bumps and over all the pavement changes, like over the concrete. Okay, the concrete was still slippery, I'd say.
It's still gonna be. You're always gonna have that delta, but you're gonna gain overall grip. Everybody's braking.
Thank you.
We'll probably, since we got Alex back here, we were just talking about the softer spring change you made. You guys made a softer spring change as well. Did you notice a pure ride improvement, or no, with the softer spring?
The car was it started out pretty nice. I would say I just had hints of understeer in your usual places, your 5 and 6, and that's really it. Was pretty loose into 1.
Yeah, as far as balance, I don't want to comment too much on it because I think we're getting a lot of our oversteer from braking and trailing brakes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 seems like 4 traction is a pretty clear read, especially even on the reds. And then the whole combined entry mid phase, I don't really want to say much on it.
All right.
Welcome to qualifying for tomorrow's Honda Indy Toronto, and it should be a very interesting qualifying session. The usual suspects at the top of the points chart. With the issues with braking and the issues with grip, I think this place more than any other is a challenge for these drivers and engineers to find that quote-unquote balance.
You guys got me on the radio?
Yes, we sure do. Do everything that you've been doing really good at this year, okay?
Copy that. Ourselves a good day, everybody.
You too.
Well, again, we've got a cluster of cars, Davey, that left pit road together, and it's going to take them a while to separate themselves.
You're doing really good, Dad. Doing good. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused now. Stay focused.
DeFrancesco does not lose his time. He's able to get that car back underway, and as it stands right now, he is P2 in this session. So Devlin DeFrancesco will roll off 12th, the first time he's been able to advance this season. I think that the team overall, as Rob Edwards told us earlier today, pretty pleased with how he has progressed over the past couple of races especially.
The best qualifying effort that you've had so far in IndyCar. So what's the takeaway from this session? Is it ultimately positive?
For sure, it's ultimately positive. You know, transferring is, time to get that monkey off our back. It was nice to do it at our home race.
I think for Devlin and for the whole of the 29 crew, it was a huge weekend.
It's hard to overstate, I think, how big of a boost that is.
It shows that we're clearly making progress and we're clearly moving in the right direction.
Devlin's super likable as a driver, and I think they all enjoy working with him. But ultimately, it's a results business, and so I think to finally get a top 12 on the board halfway through the season, or about halfway through the season, is a very tangible sign of the progress.
I think now our team on the number 29 crew is really starting to gel together. There's just so many amazing things coming, so much excitement coming, and it's about channeling that in the correct way.
I think that we continue to show improvements from one week to the next. This weekend's probably a great example of that.